It's always important to remember that no one wakes up and says, I'm going to do evil today. Even people that we might as a larger society perceive as bad, a lot of them wake up and say, I'm going to do the thing that is best for me today, or I'm going to do the thing that only I can do because only I am right and everyone else is wrong. This idea of sort of like pure evil that does evil for its own sake is sort of, it's more of, I don't want to say it's kind of childish, but it's, this idea of, oh, there's a devil and the devil just does evil. That's not what a real villain is. A real villain is someone who has depth and has drive and has reason and has ambition. They're just like your protagonist. They're just like on the other side of the coin. I tend to use Marvel movies a lot when I'm using examples because a lot of people have seen them. So it's really easy to do it. But I think Thanos in the Infinity War movies is the most perfect example. Here's a guy who looks at the universe and says, we're struggling to feed people. We're running out of resources. So I'm going to find this magical device that's going to wipe out half of humanity. I mean, half of life in the entire universe. And then there's going to be more resources to go around, which, on one hand seems dumb, right? Because why not make more resources if you've got a magic device that will do literally anything? But it actually makes sense for his character because Thanos is a warrior. That's what he does. He was literally born in blood and has never known anything but strife and conflict and battle. So of course, a character like that, the first thing he's going to go to is the bloody option, not the compassionate option. So it was a decision that was informed by his character. And the thing that Infinity War did so well is you saw that weight that he was carrying. Obviously, the dude's nuts and he's not doing it the way that is the kindest way that he could be doing it. But he's doing something and he's got this attitude of, I'm the only one who's right. I'm the only one who can do this. I have to carry this weight. I have to carry this burden. I'll do it. It'll be fun. And that was just so amazing to watch. Like that they took this movie that was about this superhero team and they were like, we're just going to make the bad guy have a really good point, And that's the thing. It's your bad guy kind of has to have a point or else they're just a caricature and then they're not interesting,
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite scenes to write in that novella was a scene where the antagonist of the first three books, whose name is Louise, she finds one of the other good guy characters tied up, and he's been tied up for a long time, and he's been injured. So she helps dress his wounds, and she unties him so he can use the restroom. And then she ties him back up again. And he says, well, why did you do that? And she said, well, because it doesn't serve any purpose not to do it. And I thought I enjoyed that as an encapsulation of her reasoning, because she does the bad things she does because she thinks it's like killing half the people of the galaxy. It's the way she knows. It's the tool in her toolbox that she knows to deploy to pursue what she sees as unselfish ends. But then she doesn't do things to be intentionally cruel. She's a good person when it serves her and needs to be a good person. She's a bad person when it serves it and needs to be a bad person. And I do wish I could just sit with readers as they read that novella and have them have a little dial that says, I like her more, I like her less, and see if it hits where I expect it to. Have you ever had that experience of trying to understand how a reader is reacting to a character that's in that sort of tricky moral area?
I've had people make stray comments to me where they'll say, oh, I hate that this character did this, or, oh, I love this character did this. I think one of my favorite insights I ever got was from my agent's assistant when he first read Warehouse, because Warehouse is about a company that's basically Amazon that takes over the American economy. And so there are three characters in the book, and two are people who work in one of these warehouse facilities, and one is the CEO of the company. So he's like a trillionaire, Jeff Bezos, and like super evil, super not cool. But he starts off, because again, he's the hero of the story. He's the hero of his story. He's the one who came in and like saved the planet by, reducing commute times because he built like live work facilities, and because he, took all these sort of outdated models and updated them, but in a way that just happened to make him richer. And I patterned him after Sam Walton, who founded Walmart, because, that guy's autobiography is nefarious. This is the guy who did a lot of bad things, a lot of bad things that reshaped the economy for the worse. And he has such a kind and warm voice. And he's always talking about family, family, family. And it's like, man, your company used to lock workers in the store at night. That's not how you treat your family. And, so anyway, so the main character of Cloud, Gibson Wells, who runs this company, he starts off like that, as like this sort of like down home Arkansas guy that you kind of want to love. And my agent's assistant was like, oh man, I was hoping he would be good. I was hoping he would be good, but he wasn't. And I'm like, yeah, that was the point. If he's like a mustache twirling villain right at the jump, then it's not interesting. But the thing is, I had to make you see his point. And I had to show you that there were things that he did that were positive within the greater sort of universe of all the shitty things that he did. And it made him human. And honestly, I think that's one of the things that made the book work. Until I had that voice, I didn't know how to write that book. And once I got that voice, I was like, oh, okay, now this all makes sense.